Today, I want to focus on how to build a phenomenal dream team. I want to help you to master the leadership process and to replace yourself. The key is to replace yourself. That's the key. If you're doing $10 an hour work or $20 an hour work, you want to replace yourself. Now, in order to do that, you've got to increase your income, right? So you have to, your marketing systems have to be working, your sales systems have to be working so that you can bring in income to bring in people underneath to replace you. The key to your business is not just systems. The key to your business is processes and the right people. Because you can have the best systems in the world, but unless you have a team that's engaged, that's hungry and humble and smart to run those systems for you, you're just not going to be as successful as you could be. That's my goal for each and every one of you. My goal for you is to become a masterful leader. When you master leadership, it means that even though things might not always be easy, surprises come up, you're a person who knows how to respond to every situation. And then to develop people in your organization that can handle things for you. So part one is you need to know where you're going, okay? And this organizational chart right here, some of you have seen it once or twice. Some of you have seen it 1,000 times. My challenge to you is to memorize this chart because this is your roadmap. And the first thing you want to do is you want to take all these boxes here. There's really 15. There's marketing, sales, operations, administration, the doing of the work down here. And there's also the training of the people. There's the supervising of the people. There's directing and planning. So there's really 12 to 15 boxes depending on how you want to count it. And what you need to determine is what boxes, if any, do you want to be in? What boxes do you want to get yourself out of? And what boxes do you want to be in? So the key is to start moving up, and you got to ask yourself the question, what positions do you need to fill next? And one of the key skills as a leader is to be able to assess where you are right now compared to where you want to be, and to work on those priority projects every single day. Every day. Every day. Your thinking time, you're changed most through your thinking. And what happens is once you get into the fray, if you will, you get into battle. It's like going into battle unprepared. Again, everything rises or falls on leadership, and phenomenal leaders attract phenomenal people. Phenomenal leaders attract phenomenal people. You can make excuses if you want to. I understand that different areas have their uniqueness. I understand that. But guess what? People all around here say, can't find good people. And I know companies that have great people. People all over Houston, Texas say, can't find good people. Yet there are many companies, including mine, that have great people. We have to change our thinking first. So So first, understand where you're going in the company. In other words, do you want to manage the company and have technicians? Let me go back to that. Do you want to, you're here probably because you understand that you can't do this. This is the first thing that you learn from this org chart, that if you're trying to be involved in everything, you're trying to control everything, you can't do that. Now, do you need to monitor? Do you need to have a way of monitoring things? Yes. Do you need to have a way of putting things together? Yes. So this is why you have your MVP. This is why you have your org chart. This is why you have your PRDs. Just do PRDs. If you do PRDs and cover every function in your business, it gets so much easier, because you're going to quickly see who's overloaded, who doesn't have enough, and you can start shifting that stuff. And they probably already know from tribal knowledge how to do things. Maybe it's not the best way yet. And then you start building your policies and your procedures. But most oftentimes you already have someone who knows how to do whatever it is. And so just starting with PRDs for each position will get you going. And then you start focusing on replacing yourself. So if you want to just replace yourself in the doing of the work and you want to be the manager of the company, great. So you only have 8 boxes, 8 to 10, depending on how you look at it. Maybe you don't want to manage. That's me. I don't want to manage stuff. I don't want to get in the minutia. I want to share the vision, and I want people on my team that get it, want it, and have the capacity. That's the great game of business right there. Get it, want it, have the capacity. Get it, want it, have the capacity. If they don't get it, or they don't want it, then can't be on my team. Now, if you get it and you want it, but you don't have the capacity, I might be able to move you somewhere else. So maybe you want people who can help you manage your company so that you don't have to be in the minutia, so that up here you can work on the business right here. Working on the business is somewhere around this area here. Right here, you're running reports, you're reviewing things, you're checking on things. Over here, you're deciding what those reports mean and how to lead and how to communicate to your team. Up here, you're thinking and planning. You're thinking and planning. I'm over here thinking and planning, and then I'm communicating with my team. If you want to be off of the chart and you want to have a turnkey business, you want to be off the charts altogether, then you can do that. But what you're going to need is you're going to need people who are able to think and plan. The reason many of you are not turnkey is not because you don't have the team, the procedures, the systems, and all that. It's because your vision isn't compelling enough to make it happen. Until the desire becomes so strong, until the vision becomes so strong that I basically can't live my life unless I'm turnkey. Because then that'll make you go do the hard work. If you're waiting around, well, when I get enough people or when I get enough systems, whatever. Yes, you got to build the systems. Yes, you got to build the systems. But what drives the systems and drives you doing everything you can to find the people. Listen, If you can't find the person to work for you, find a person to work with you. Partner with somebody. Hey, I'll do this part, you do that part. There's a lot of ways to do this. There's a lot of ways to build a team. We're going to talk about this. You can outsource a lot of stuff that you do. There's a lot of guys in the restoration business. All of their work is done by subcontractors. Subcontractors are hungry because they have their own business. They got their own family to feed. You've heard this, but I want to stress this. I'm not here to necessarily teach you a lot of new things. Now, some of you're new, and some of it's revelation for you, but mostly to remind you. We need to be reminded more than to be taught. And also, the reason we need to be reminded is it needs to get in you, not just here, but here. Get the right people on the bus. Get the wrong people off the bus. Okay? Right people, they want to win. Right people, they want to grow. Right people, they want to learn. Right people, they want to belong to something that's meaningful. This is why your mission, your values, and your purpose, your MVP, is so important, because it needs to engage the heart. We're not just doing work here. We're making a difference in people's lives. Chief, even in that butcher shop where you used to work, that thing could be transformed to where, like, we're going to just, like, wow every single person that comes in here. They're just going to walk out of this place just totally wowed. At that point, man, I don't mind cutting up steaks, because I know that the work I do cutting up these steaks, I mean, maybe we're going to pray for somebody. Maybe we're going to pray with somebody. Maybe we're going to, like, share something with somebody that, like, totally revolutionizes their life. You want the right people, or people who want to help others. Of course, as we have talked about many times, I'm here to remind you. I'm the Chief Reminding Officer, your CRO, that you want people who are humble, who are hungry, and who are smart. And that's emotionally smart. In other words, they're aware, they have a high EQ, not necessarily just an IQ. You want people who are self-aware. You want people who are aware of the feelings of others and how they're coming across to others. That's why DISC is so important. And so I'd like to invite you to read that book. Order that book and read that book, because I'm just giving you this much of it, right? But Patrick Lencioni goes into all these different areas. If you got somebody who's humble and hungry but not smart, or you got somebody that's probably not the right combination, because usually they're not humble and hungry. But you got people who are humble, they're smart, but they're not hungry. You got people who are hungry and smart. I think he calls that the bulldozer. You're looking for someone who's successful. And what I mean by that is, how many of you know that even a high school student, you can measure whether they've been successful or not. I hired a wonderful 17-year-old that's almost 18. Her name is Riley Chrisman, Kirk and Angie's daughter. She's working 1 day a week. She may have called you. And right now, all I want her to do is get experience. That's all I want her to do. I know that she is successful because of the things that she's done. Even at her age. Good work ethic, positive attitude, great appearance, intelligent, honest and trustworthy, loyal, organized, takes initiative, and you're looking for a potential leader. The last thing that you want to do is be walking around your marketplace, your industry, talking about how tough things are, how bad things are, the economy, this and that and the other thing. Even if your business is struggling, it's not any of their business. And you're successful if you're responding to the difficulties the right way. What does your work ethic look like? Are you carrying a positive attitude? What do you look like when you're out in the community? You know that when I was running my service company, that I wouldn't even leave my house without being in my uniform code. Like, my favorite outfit is a bathing suit and flip-flops. I wouldn't go anywhere like that because I might run into a prospect or a client or a prospective team member at the grocery store. Intelligent. We're not looking for rocket scientists. We're looking for people who have something going on up here. They're honest and trustworthy. I don't want anybody on my team that I can't trust. And I'm looking for loyalty. I'm looking for people. You don't have to stay with me forever. I know that everybody's not going to be with you forever. But some will. But I do want people, when they're with me, they're loyal to us. What is your reputation? Probably most of your team members are going to come from other team members referring you. People who work for you, what do they say about you when you're not around? You're going to meet, some of y'all are going to meet Dr. Joseph Michelli. He also wrote a book called Leading the Starbucks Way, which Starbucks has gotten off track politically and culturally and all that stuff, but man, there was so much good stuff about Starbucks when they first started and how they became an iconic brand. But and he outlined their leadership stuff in that book, Leading the Starbucks Way, the book that's in that picture right there. And but Dr. Joseph Michelli says that a brand is nothing more than what people say about you when you're not around.